Going back to Barnsley, how much do you think it helped you, the fact that you were playing league football at a young age, as opposed to being in a big club, going through their academy and waiting till you're possibly nearly 20 odd to make your first team debut?
I think I would never, if I had the chance to change what I'd done growing up, I'd say no, I'd never change anything. I think how I did it and how I've come through the ranks is in my opinion, a great way to come in and get yourself into the football as a professional. There's a lot of players that play for top teams in the Premiership and maybe don't get that chance. They may have to get loaned out and things. And I think how I started at Barnsley was, the perfect platform for me. Playing regularly, gaining experience at a young level, and also learning the game in a tough league. It was a tough league at the time, the Championship. There's a lot of good teams in there that could play in the Premiership. So for me, for how I came about it, I think it was perfect.
Was it more physical than the Premier League?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why I played right back more. My stature wasn't built for a centre half in that league, purely because of, they say it's long ball, but I've got to disagree. I think they mix it up very well. The strikers are stronger, so they're going to play it into the front man. But it's a lot physical, very physical, a lot of hard-working players. There's a lot of quality, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of top-quality players, as you see, they get bought from teams into the Premiership. But I think the physical side of it made me learn my trade at right-back in that league.
Going back to the physical side of it, here at Everton, in the Premier League, who's been the toughest opponent you've faced so far?
Oh, it's a tough one. I get that question asked a lot. There's a lot of top players that you play against.
Are you not going to answer so you don't give this person an edge?
I might not.
You're ahead of me already, aren't you?
I think in this situation, there's a lot of top players that go on to play in different countries for top teams or top teams in the Premier League, that on the day that you play against them don't play very well or don't give you a particular problem. But you know that they're such a good player that sometimes you can't say, he wasn't that good against me, but he's a top player. And the players that don't get the credit give you the hardest game or the toughest game sometimes. So I think putting a name on a player would be very tough for me to say, this guy is a top player but he didn't do it against me, or this guy did it against me but doesn't do it regularly enough. So I'd have to say that on any particular day, a player that you play against can do the business or can't. It doesn't matter who he is or what he's done in the past either.
Okay, accepting that then, what did it mean to you when you acquitted yourself extremely well against Andy Carroll, an England international, a big, strong, difficult customer?
Andy's very good at what he does. And for any centre-half in the league, he's a handful. And I took that on as a great challenge for me to learn. You're not going to win every ball against him. He's that good in the air. So you've got to adapt your game around him, and the whole team has, I suppose, positionally. And Andy's the out-and-out striker, I'd say, for West Ham. And as a centre-half, you want to try and win everything and show your dominance against him. But on playing against him, you can't always do that. And I'm sure Jags will say the same. We've got to be very clever and choose your time to win the ball. But Andy's probably up there with one of the toughest players to play against in the Premier League.
So when you had a good game against him, did you come off the pitch thinking, I'm pleased with that because that was a real challenge that I rose to?
Yeah, definitely. And I've know that I've got to take that into the next time I play against him. Because you can't get too complacent with that game and think, you know, I can do that every time. Because he's such a handful, and I know that there's always another game against another player and things like that.
Because of your age, and because you still haven't completely filled out, do opposing forwards come and find you out, try and bully you, intimidate you?
I wouldn't say so, no. I always try and have a presence about me on the pitch, and every player tries to give that aura about them to the opposition. And you've got to stand your ground. You can't get pushed over in any game. And the more that you show the other player that you're willing to fight and give them a battle, I think they show you that bit more respect.
Tell me about your England experience. What's that been like?
It's been unbelievable. I think in the space of a year, it was from the under-19s to the senior squad, and you know, if you said that in a year you'd do that, I would have snapped your hand off. So it was an unbelievable experience for me to go to the World Cup, the pre-squad. The players that were there, some aren't in the squad now, but to have the chance to train with them and play with them in a few games was you know, a memory that will never leave me. And taking that on into the next squad, it was a great integration, I suppose, to the England squad. I feel at home there now. The lads all know me, and I think it's a big part of being of the team. You want to feel welcome and wanted there and accepted, and I definitely feel that now.
How do you keep your feet on the ground with such phenomenal development in such a short space of time? You're playing regularly for your club, you're starting to play for England, you've even been spoken about as a future England captain. So how do you keep your feet on the ground?
I think it's how my parents brought me up, and the people I've always had around me. I've had great friends and family that have always been very humble and honest people that just want to enjoy what they do and get on with the day-to-day life. And I think you don't want to get too carried away with yourself. It takes you to a different place mentally. And as I say, the people that I've had around me have always been very thankful for what they've had and what they've done, and I think it's rubbed off on me.
Who's the first person to bring you back down to earth if they thought you were getting slightly carried away with it? Who's first in the queue? Your mum?
No, I won't say my mum. It'd probably have to be some of my teammates here, probably. It's never happened, and I hope it doesn't. But I'd probably say some of the lads here, they're definitely 100% behind me, and they spot anything. If you're down, if you're overly happy, they'll put you in your place. So I'd say some of the boys in the dressing room.
Played in the Championship, come to Everton, in the first team now, playing for England. What's next? A goal?
I hope so. It's been a long time. It needs to be a goal. And probably another goal after that. But no, I think I'd love to score, and especially at home here at Goodison. But I think for a centre-half and any defender, you want to keep a clean sheet and go on and win a game from making a goal line block or something. Every defender wants to make a clean sheet and let the strikers go on and do their business. But for me personally, I want to keep playing here and keep playing well, rise up the table and hopefully get back in the England squad. After my injury, it was a long time to sit out of football, and you know, gladly I'm back in the team and want to keep working hard to stay in the team. And as I said, hopefully next month can keep playing well enough to get back in the England squad.
I know when you were out of the team when you were injured, Roberto said, use the time wisely.
Yeah.
What did he mean by that, and what did you do to follow his advice?
He meant educate myself watching the game. I can't be a part of it on the pitch, but I can educate watching teams, how teams play, how we play, and being a presence in the dressing room, always being around the lads, and don't lose that feeling of being in the group. I think that's massive for any player that's out of the squad or injured. And he wanted me to use the time wisely, watching as much football as I could, especially us. Home and away, I went to a few away games and watched how we played, and the gaffer was showing me how we'd play before the game. So I think that period that I had out was a great transition period for me to educate myself mentally and get a real feel for the game. From a different perspective, you get to see the game higher up, and it seems so quick on the pitch, but watching it, you see different things, and I definitely use that experience or that time out to its full advantage.
Last question. Could you sum up to what extent are you living the dream?
I think every footballer's living the dream. There's not a better job out there, especially for a young kid wanting to be a professional footballer, play for England, and to say I've done all those things. It just makes you hungry for more of the same. You want to be playing week in, week out, captain of your team, hopefully come on to captain your country, things like that. You've got to aspire to get to those things, and if you don't dream big, then you won't get there. So I think living the dream, I've got to live in the moment and enjoy it as much as I can, and hopefully it doesn't stop. I know I've got to work hard to stay in it, and hopefully I can do that.